We're backdoors and blindsides. We're back with our second episode
Hello,
ever.
everyone.
A competitive reality TV podcast covering Big Brother 27. I'm your host, Matt, joined by a woman who pays my mortgage right alongside me, Meg, my wife.
Hello, hello.
And we are coming to you live from Cape Cod in Massachusetts. We started a podcast 1 week before we went on vacation. So
Great timing.
After we spent all that work putting our studio together in the living room, I immediately tore it all apart, threw it in a backpack, and drove it up the East Coast. But we're fucking professionals. We don't skip an episode of the show. We are bringing you a recap of the entirety of week 1 of Big Brother 27. And there's a ton to get through in the first week. I mean, I feel like the first week there's always, you're meeting the new cast, you're seeing the pieces of the house for the first time, some new elements of the game are thrown in, but it really has been kind of all over the place. And part of that is just there's 17 people that we're trying to follow right now. So, I mean, we've got Vince's HOH nominees, we've got Showergate, we've got the veto competition, we've got replacement nominees. We've got Jimmy acting like a fool in the house, Rachel making moves, already getting her fingers into everything, and ultimately ending with Zay being the one who was evicted this week.
Yep, we're covering it all. And don't forget about the accomplice, our first have-nots of the season as well. And we will also be going over alliances. Where's the lay of the land? Who do we have working together so far? So we will be analyzing it all in this episode.
Where do you want to start? The accomplice?
Yeah, let's start with the accomplice.
So we were wrong.
We were way wrong.
So
wrong. We should have listened to Lauren. Lauren was saying that it was another woman, and she was so right. She was playing a numbers game, and I respect her analyzing that situation. She was the only one who clocked it for a female.
Right.
The overwhelming majority voted for Riley, and then Zay got the second amount of votes. So we only had 2 people that were suspected as the accomplice or, voted for. And
for a minute, it seemed like he was least popular in the house when they had to vote on the accomplice. It was like 12 to 5.
I know. I kind of.
Riley Zay.
Yeah. No, I think it was like 11 to 5.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. And I just felt bad for the guy. I was like, wow, America is not vibing with him right off the bat, and neither is the house. So it was interesting seeing like America's first impression almost align with the Big Brother houseguest first impression as well,
right.
And like not really vibing with Riley.
Because this is all like what, in like within the first hour of being in the house, something like that.
Yeah,
it's definitely night 1 when they're
quick.
voting on the accomplice. And it's so funny too, and we're not gonna, base all of our show content off of live feeds. This is a recap of the CBS show, but we tune into the live feeds all the time. And it's so funny to see how quickly he's won, I think, like the entire house over. It seems like everyone loves that guy. He is insanely likable. He's just like vibing with everyone. He's smiling. He's telling a lot of good stories. He seems to be in with a lot of people. And so that's just how quickly things can shift in Big Brother, but also why you have to be so on your toes those first couple of days. And we'll get into that with some people already fucking up.
And don't forget, he is a contender for a showmance this season. He is a contender for a showmance this season. We have the very first episode, Mickey taking the hat from him, wearing his hat. And apparently that's a big taboo in cowboy culture. We do not.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone in the comments of some Big Brother content posts were saying,
is Cowboy Big Brother coming out of the woodwork?
I think so. But apparently it's taboo to wear a cowboy's hat. I don't know if that signifies that you're in a relationship with him or whatever, but you could even see Riley kind of shocked, like, who is this girl and why is she wearing my cowboy hat? But we also have Riley in the live feeds, and you see it a little bit in the last episode where Kelly's talking to Lauren and Riley, but Riley's also getting his nails painted by Lauren.
He's a flirt, dude.
He's a flirt.
He's giving Catherine compliments, who's not shutting him down, by the way. I'm not saying that he's playing the field, but I think that he's just a gregarious and a flirty guy. So
yeah.
I hope we see more of that. But yeah, he gets off scot-free, right? Because it's not like this was a vote for eviction. It was if they correctly discovered the accomplice, then that accomplice would not be able to stay. But we find out it's neither of the folks that they voted. And through a flashback, when they first enter the house, we discover that it's Amy. Amy is the accomplice. Amy was planted by the mastermind to further his evil deeds and cause chaos in the house.
Yeah, and I just want to say bravo to Amy for keeping it under wraps. I mean, the loudest mouth keeping the quietest secret? Are you kidding me? Yeah, and I really think that you know, it was a diversion. I think she was able to, you know, everyone started to tune her out. Oh, Amy's loud. Amy's loud. Everyone stopped kind of paying
Right.
attention to her. So it was
It's
kind
the
of
first thing I would do in the house is just stop listening to whatever she has to say and stop. try to be in a different room at all times. And no disrespect. Like, no disrespect. It seems like she has also won the house over. People seem to love her.
Yes.
Like, it seems like she's giving house mom vibes. and
Right.
people were feeling really guilty about her being on the block, casting their
I think she's
vote.
come back. I think she's
Yeah.
won the house guest back a little bit. We can talk about it a little bit more, but people were feeling very guilty
Yeah.
for potentially having to vote her out for her being on the block. So I think Amy has a little bit more pull in the house than I originally thought she would. So
And it's clear that production loves her because they gave her that task.
right.
So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Amy.
Right, sure, yeah. She just needs to keep her mouth shut. I swear, if she utters one word of being the accomplice to anybody, I'm going to lose it. Because the thing that drives me crazy the most is when people try to, ooh, I'm going to give someone a piece of information so that they trust me, so that they
Right.
trust. Well, you've been hiding it for what, weeks now? Maybe if she tells someone, then now you just seem more untrustworthy to me.
I think she could hide it from anyone in the house besides her biggest ally, Rachel.
You think she tells Rachel?
Dude, she's such a huge fan of Rachel.
Yeah.
She attached herself to Rachel immediately. And I mean, who wouldn't, right? And we'll talk more about what Rachel has been able to accomplish in the first week, but of course she's going to, combine forces with Rachel right away. You're trying to impress this celebrity. I mean, she's clearly like a little starstruck. This is the one thing that she has over the rest of the house. I don't know if it'll come out week 2, but I will say the longer she hangs on to it, the worse it will be when she finally admits to Rachel, because Rachel's the type of player that she's going to be pissed that there were any secrets kept from her. She knows the power, like she gets off on the power that she has over all the other players.
I just hope she really keeps it under wraps and kind of forgets about it and moves on. She's in the house.
It's the best
Let's
for her
move on.
game to just pretend like it never happened or never think about it again.
Right. You don't need it to buy equity with any of the other players. But Amy, right off the bat, she seems like she has a lot to manage. She was the accomplice. She was in the promo video saying that she wanted a girls alliance. So she is trying to start a girls alliance. And there was a clip of her saying that she wants to help with showmances. So she's got a full agenda there in the Big Brother house. And I think it's a little crazy when you're going for $750K.
She's going for likability.
Sure.
Which is a really good way to get through the game, especially this early on when there's not a whole lot of like hardcore playing yet. I mean, on the flip side, if you do something that is viewed as an unlikable trait, it's really easy to get put up because the relationships have not been strong yet. And I think house mom in general is a good vibe to bring to the house. You got a lot of people that miss their fucking moms. You know what I mean? We saw that all over the promos. People are, and I know
We saw Riley loving his mom.
I know I talked shit about this last week, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized how advantageous that could be to Amy. And it'd probably fucking work on me too, right? Like, you're just looking for someone to kind of just be nurturing and welcoming and tell you that it's going to be okay, shower you with compliments. She seems very complimentary of other players.
And well, the Big Brother house is so unfamiliar.
Right.
You're in this new place with all these cameras around you. You're just looking for some familiarity, and Amy can give that. You see it in Survivor. You see it in Big Brother. People gravitate to those dad figures, gravitate to those mom figures because it resonates with them.
It was all over Survivor with Joe.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. And it really resonates with people. So having that, I think, is a good thing going into the house, having that familiarity. We have our first have-nots of the season, which also comes with safety. Yes, exactly. So we have Rachel coming right off into the house. She gets to be a have-not. And they're like, "Oh no, have-not. You get your cold showers. You have to eat slop all week. You have to live in the have-not room," which is this terrible, uncomfortable I don't even think you can call it bed
This
situation
looks
room.
way worse than the one last season. At least it was like a flat rectangular
Surface.
slab. I mean, you're sleeping in a chalk outline of a dead body. So I think like the square footage alone doesn't make any sense.
I would thrive though. I sleep in some weird positions. I'm one of the people, I lay down on my face, I put my arm up, I hike my leg up, and that's kind of how I sleep. So a lot of those positions on the ground and in the have not room looked very comforting for me.
Well, don't get me wrong. I would take this immediately. Guaranteed safety at the start of the
Sure,
game.
yeah.
There's nothing more valuable.
No, there's
And,
not.
and there's a reason that
And-
everyone's hand went up when who got to choose? Was it Zach? Who got to choose?
I believe it was a schoolyard pick situation. So Rachel was safe, and I believe she selected Will after that, and then it was Zach. After
everyone
that,
got a pick, right?
I believe so, yeah. And then Zach had the opportunity to pick between his little, I don't want to call it a showmance quite yet,
His
but
crush.
his house crush, which is Lauren. It cuts to him contemplating who he should choose, and I applaud him for this. He goes with his heart and with his brain instead of his dick.
Yeah. He picked Ava, which was, I think, a great choice because, look, if you've got your eyes on Lauren, you want to develop this showmance with her. You just want to get to know her a little better. Like, you already know that you're going to be trying to spend a lot of time with her in the house. Why don't you choose someone who basically becomes an automatic ally?
Right.
Because you don't know anything about her yet, and you said, yeah, I like your vibes. You're going to come be safe with me. I think that's a great move. You want to pick someone that you may not spend a lot of time with in the house for the next week, or someone that you can just kind of move on from because now you've got numbers with them.
Right. And you don't want to be obvious about picking Lauren. Once a showmance is established, it is so hard to walk it back. So if people are thinking, oh, Zach picked Lauren because he has the hots for her, then that's not great for his game. So I applaud him for picking Ava and for having some, a heart to want to keep her, because she's sitting there like a sad puppy in the rain, raising her hand like, please save me.
I'm too soft. It would work on me so easily. If I see anyone just be a little sad, my immediate reaction is just, how can I make them less sad?
Yeah.
What can I do to
Sweetheart.
fix this situation? Well, it's why I would have to play hard in the Big Brother house, because I fear I'm easily emotionally manipulated.
Right. So we have Rachel, Will, Ava, and Zach, who are safe.
Yes.
And speaking of Zach, because he found Julie in our very first comp, he was rewarded with $10K publicly.
Right off the bat.
Public.
Too.
I don't know if that's ever happened right off the bat like that. I mean, you have veto competitions where you might win some money or something like that, but right off the bat, winning $10K, huge target. Huge target.
But still worth it because it came with an advantage.
Right.
And the advantage is he gets to buy his safety with that $10K if at any point he is put on the block after a veto competition. That's
right.
huge.
It's huge. It's very
It's
Survivor.
a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, it's very Survivor-esque. It kind of feels like a hidden immunity idol. So I love that component. I love that sneaky component. No one will see it coming in the house. They think he got his $10K, he pocketed it, good to go next. But I will say there is a superstition with winning a big prize in competition reality TV. Survivor used to do it a ton. In early Survivor, people would be winning cars and trips or whatever. And guess what? It was the Survivor curse to win the car that season. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, because almost immediately after that next vote, you're going home.
Well, I think it's just a jealousy thing, right?
Sure.
Like, is Zach really viewed as a threat for winning that comp? I don't think so, because it was a puzzle comp. Vince was already ahead of him anyways, right? He got lucky. He just chose the right door. So I don't think that he had to be worried about being perceived as a threat. But right off the bat, you're like, this guy got $10K and I didn't. Fuck him. like that's, how do you not think that way? Like, you don't know this person at all. You realize, oh, it could have been me, but it wasn't. Now I'm mad.
Right, because don't forget, these house guests are getting paid a stipend. They get a stipend for, they're incentivized to stay longer because each week they get X amount of money. But it's peanuts, right? Mm-hmm. $10K is a huge, it's almost like fourth place right off the bat, right? Because we have $10K, we have America's vote at the end for your favorite player, which is usually awarded $25K. And then we have the second place that wins $50K and first place that wins $750K. So that's almost That's almost like just fourth place right off the bat.
The special thing about this advantage, though, is that it is such a test of your ability to separate game from emotion, game from life, and make the correct move for yourself. Because if Zach is to buy his, can we call it immunity? I mean, I know that's more of a Survivor term, but safety.
Safety.
If Zach wishes to buy his safety, not only does he lose that 10K, that 10K goes to the current HOH of the house.
I forgot about
that. Exactly. So you have to think
Yeah.
about not only losing that money, right? Because that money's not in your hand yet. You're still in the Big Brother house. It's not like you can spend it. But knowing that to get yourself off the block, you've got to reward whoever probably tried to put you up there in the first place.
That's so true.
That is a huge test of ego.
Yeah.
And it's a huge deal that it's Zach. He has shown a lot of emotional intelligence in the house. I think in the last couple of days, we see it. Well, we really see it when Zay goes home. But I've just seen
alert.
I've seen him talk to a bunch of guests, and he seems like a pretty well-rounded guy. But at the end of the day, 10K is 10K, and that can change a lot of people. So that's going to be huge. I hope he doesn't have to use it. I like Zach a lot early on, but God, can you imagine like the look on Rachel Riley's face if she knows she's getting 10 grand on top of getting what she wants in the house? Like, you have to think about who would be the worst person to pay. It would have to be her, right?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Because she's already won.
Yeah.
People are already pissed that she's in the house to begin with because she's already won her money.
She's already won her money. She's been on a slew of other reality TV shows. She is a professional reality TV competition
she
player.
Seems like a pretty personal reality TV player too. I mean, that's why she's so successful. But she doesn't. She's quick on the trigger, right? She's quick to become very defensive. So
right.
Yeah, she's a professional player that takes it very personally.
Speaking of taking things personally, let's move on to Showergate.
Showergate is
we love to see it.
Stupid, but it's such a great example of what it takes to survive week one in the Big Brother house. And that what it takes is being completely untouchable, unproblematic, not ruffling any feathers in any actions that you could have.
You wanna be Homer Simpson backing into the bush, slowly just becoming a wallflower,
right.
Observing, throwing in comments here or there. But not Ashley. Ashley doesn't think like that.
It's probably the only week of the entire game where it is even remotely advantageous to be a floater.
Sure. Yeah. You're just looking to not make waves, to not be a topic of conversation that first week, because you don't want to be the first to go home. So let's break it down. So what happens is that Vince is in his HOH room. He just got it. He said, "Everyone, let's go see my HOH room," which is a classic Big Brother shot where they bring everyone up to the room and they
I
see
love the look of it, by the way.
It's great.
The hidden door for the bathroom
fun
is so cool, and I'm putting one in the house
oh my god
before the end of the year.
Yeah, it is a neat feature. Definitely goes along with the clue aspect of the hidden doors, things like that. So I love it. But what comes with the HOH room is your private bathroom. So there's a main bathroom in the bottom of the house where everyone else lives, and there's 2 showers. That's it. There's 2 showers and 1 toilet.
Sure.
And then there is another shower upstairs in the HOH room and another toilet in the HOH room.
I would love to know the brand of toilet that they have running in this house for 16 people. It's got to be top of the line.
I mean, it's got to be a Toto, right?
Or it's got to be like that Kohler toilet that has the advertisement of like a woman like next to like next to the Manhattan skyline.
Yeah, she's on the side of a building.
People have had to seen this ad that we're talking about, right? We see this ad all the time on like, what is it, like the Fire Stick or something like that.
Yeah.
It's the most elegant shot of this black toilet like next to the Hudson River or something.
Yeah. So Ashley asks Vince, "Hey, can I take a shower real quick? I'll be like 10 minutes." And Vince is sitting on his HOH bed. He wants to take a shower. He wants to go to bed. He wants to settle into his newly won room. And he says, "Yeah, Ashley, go ahead, take a shower." Because he did say there was a clip of him saying, "Whoever wants to use this space, like, please come up here." So
you want to be everyone's friend.
Right. He did state that he wanted to
It sounds like
open
you're
it up.
victim blaming right now. It sounds like you're victim blaming Vince for saying that anyone can go take a shower.
He did, but I think Ashley took it way too far.
That's
if you're going to be
crazy.
10 minutes in the shower, be 10 minutes in the shower. It doesn't need to be an everything shower. You don't need to shave all your crevasses. You don't need to exfoliate. You don't need to do your whole skincare routine in the mirror in there afterwards. You get in, you get out. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Next. Because what happens is everyone else in the main floor, so it's just Vince upstairs waiting for Ashley to be done, and Ashley in the shower. Everyone else is downstairs.
It's a bad look.
Bad look. Everyone starts looking around. Who's here? You're here. You're here. Where's Ashley? Is Ashley still upstairs taking a shower? Are you serious?
And it's interesting that Catherine is the one who is perpetuating this, or she's the first to bring it up, right? At least we see on the on the episode.
Yeah, Ashley walks down and Catherine has a quip about her taking so long. And I was like, girl, okay.
Well, and here's the power of word of mouth and paranoia in the Big Brother house is Vince never came down. Vince never took someone aside and said, dude, Ashley's still in my fucking shower.
No, you're right.
Clearly, it wasn't an issue to him, or at least he didn't voice it. Because what good does that do unless you've already targeted Ashley for the game?
Sure.
And so it takes just one person who's not even connected to this interaction between Ashley and Vince to basically turn the whole house against one person.
Blow it way out of proportion. Yep. And then Ashley gets wind of people not liking the shower situation.
Well, how can you not?
Right.
Yeah, it's 16 people whispering behind her back.
She goes to Catherine and confronts her. I'm like, Ashley, just stop talking about the shower, please. It was so painful to watch.
There's so much
just
going
forget
on
about
in this house with 16 people. It's so easy for one thing to just be left behind.
Right. But because you keep talking about it and you keep apologizing about it, people are like, oh, yeah, that was fucked.
Ashley continuing to interfere, to intrude on Vince's conversations in the HOH room was driving me nuts. And you know it was driving him nuts too. And that's what he said ultimately led him to putting her up on the block.
But don't forget too.
Is her paranoia.
Right. But Ashley was warned twice by two different people. Amy came to her and said, Ashley, you need to calm down about the shower thing. You're freaking people out. And Zach also went to Ashley and said, Ashley, you need to stop. She was warned twice and she kept being crazy. She was
pretty
being
messy
paranoid
for the first week.
Yeah. She was going into Vince's room acting like she was interrupting a conversation on The Bachelor. Hey, can I steal you for a minute? Let him talk.
It was so like that.
It was so cringe.
Can I just borrow you for a second? And then someone looks, oh, okay, right. They look at the floor. They're fixing their dress. They're going to stand up and walk out of the room, right? That's exactly what was going on.
Wrong show, Ashley. Wrong show.
For it seemed like multiple days that this was happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not great. And, she even perpetuated Showergate by making the entire house wait for her for the veto nomination ceremony.
I wouldn't shower for a week after I was pointed out by the entire house that I took too long of a shower. I do everything to avoid being looped back into that. And what she does instead is she does it again.
She
to
doubles
the
down.
entire house in front of everyone.
Everyone's sitting in the living room,
It's so funny,
waiting to pick players for the veto competition, and they need everyone there. She is on the block. She has to be here for this meeting.
It's incredible.
And she's the last one to walk in. Everyone's clearly looking around, waiting for her. She does it again.
I feel like you've got to have better time management as a lawyer.
You right?
Right? Like you're working on deadlines. It's a fast-paced work environment. 45-minute shower is probably not the move in that profession.
Says the man who takes 45-minute showers.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm a dumb fucking podcaster. You have to make a career change if you want the privilege of being able to enjoy hour-long showers. You have to not work so hard in college.
Okay, Showergate's a wrap. TBD, it could be perpetuated in the future. I am excited to see if that continues or not. And on to our next topic. We finally get nominations, our first nominations of the season. So unlike other seasons of Big Brother where it is 2 nominees, we have a consistent 3 nominees here to stay. So Vince goes ahead and puts up Ashley. So
easy target at this point.
Easy target, but he is breaking a promise to Ashley. He tells her and the other people that were competing in the HOH comp, right? There was 4 of them. He tells everyone, hey, we're going to be good. Anyone that is competing in this challenge, because it's such a limited amount of people, we're all going to keep each other safe. So he goes against his original word and puts up Ashley because the house is upset over Showergate. And then he also throws up Amy, and he also throws up Zay.
Right. Zay gets thrown up. I thought that they were a little tighter earlier in the game. It seems like they sort of join up, like, actually after he's already put him up, which is interesting.
Yep.
They form an alliance once he's already put Zay on the block. The Burger Boys is formed pre-BB Blockbuster. So Zay is still potentially out of the house at the hands of Vince and joins up with him, which I thought was interesting, but also at the same time, you're probably just grasping, right?
Right.
You're trying to make friends. You're trying to get whatever you can.
And Vince wants to keep his noms as comfortable as he can.
Right.
So, maybe it was just him buttering Zay up a little bit, but those are our 3 first nominees of the season, and Ashley is not okay.
Yeah.
She is not okay. She gets up from the table, goes over to Vince and says, why did you lie to me in front of the entire house?
She knew what she was doing.
She did.
She blew up his spot big time.
She blew up his spot, outed Vince as this liar, and then I even have her written down here, quoted, saying, I hate everyone.
She said, I hate everyone.
She said, I hate everyone.
Dude, that's where the display of emotion needs to be reined in.
Yep.
Because that's just, you're admitting that you're just easily upset and you can't align with anyone to work through whatever issue is at hand.
And don't get me wrong, you can be emotional in the Big Brother house. A lot of the times you do see emotions for the benefit. People, really, really going in on them. And you see that a little bit in the live feeds, people being upset about having to potentially vote out Amy. So there are moments in time where emotions are a good thing, but outbursts where you are accusing people of things in a very public eye is not great. James, yes. And she, in that same breath, Ashley says she will be putting Vince on the block.
Yeah.
Line in the sand.
What else are you gonna do? She says that. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's, first of all, that's like the only move that she would be able to make at the moment. But no matter how little the promise is, you have to be so careful of what you say to people because there are too many people in the house. It's too easy to lose out on a much bigger alliance if you piss off the wrong person. Right.
But we did get some funny quips at Vince's expense. We also have Ashley saying, and I quote, sticky little mustache on top of that nasty little face. Damn.
That's so offensive to my culture. And I think that she owes all of us an apology.
Is Vince's mustache sticky?
No, first of all, his mustache is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm a little jealous. It comes in a little thicker than I do like that he waxed it for eviction night. I love that he's wearing the same thing. Everyone dresses up. A lot of women like to dress up in like very beautiful dresses, or they want to look their best. They're on live TV, and Vince hasn't changed his clothes once, I think, since he moved into the Big Brother house.
Right. Well, he's unemployed, so he only has a certain amount of clothes, probably.
What's up with the beanie, by the way?
I love a beanie.
But he hasn't taken it off once, right?
Yeah. So what's under there?
He's at the pool, shirtless, in his swim trunks, but he's still got the beanie on.
Right. The infamous Big Brother photo shoot, swimsuit photo shoot. Say that 5 times fast. And he's out there in trunks and a beanie.
Do you think that Vince is secretly being ratatouille'd?
Yes.
And that's why the hat never comes off?
Yes, there's a rat up there.
Do you think that rat is another accomplice to the mastermind.
Probably, yeah. And he has longer hair, so it gives the rat extra grip to pull in control, right?
Anyone can play Big Brother. That's the playbook. How good is Ratatouille?
Great movie. But in addition to sticky little mustache on top of that nasty little face, we also get Amy's insult. Amy's insult is, "Good job, weenie."
What the fuck who does she think she is? It's like she's on The Sandlot. That's something out of that's an insult right out of The Sandlot.
It's also an insult right out of SpongeBob. She doesn't cuss. We have our 3 noms. They're not happy. Zay's actually playing it pretty cool. He's trying to keep still a low profile at this point in the game. He's trying to, snake around different ways, how he can stay with Amy and Ashley. Everyone's hoping that Ashley does not win veto because we want to keep either noms the same or just ensure that she stays up there. Vince doesn't want any other blood on his hands, so his goal is keeping it the same.
Sure.
But in Big Brother, we can't have everything go smoothly all the time. So who wins veto? Ashley.
Yep. Pretty much a great way for week 1 to go. We were explaining Big Brother to our friend Nick, and he's watching for the first time. Yeah, shout out. It's a great way to show just what could happen in a week of Big Brother. It's ideal, right? To show the path of the game. Person who's on the block wins veto. Of course, she takes herself right off.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
Well, if you're Tucker, you're going to give it to Angela for some fucking reason. So she takes herself off, and Vince is left with,
not a big pool of people, right? Because he has 4 have-nots that are safe. And then he also has the 3 others in the original HOH comp that he promised safety to, that he went obviously back on with Ashley. But I think he's still trying to hold his word a little bit with the other 3.
Here's the thing. If you win HOH week 1, you cannot think about your plan for yourself before you got into the house. Anyone who walks into the Big Brother house is thinking about their game. From the moment they walk in, this is what my game's going to be. If you're HOH week 1, you cannot hold yourself to how you thought you were going to play, because you have to make decisions that are going to affect the rest of your season. So he clearly came in wanting to be everybody's friend. And it's clear that he cares about people. He seems like he's a very sweet guy. Obviously, he's generous. He's sharing beers with Catherine. He's letting Ashley take a 3-hour shower in his bathroom. But he's also kind of pussyfooting around making huge decisions that you need to be able to make, because what happened is he was too afraid to ruffle feathers. And, of course, that's going to happen with whoever is the first HOH. You have to get over that, though. You have to realize that you need to make a move, because if you don't, if you have this sort of sloppy HOH, you're left with not a lot of very good options because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You have to get over that. You have to be cutthroat as HOH for week 1.
Even just taking a stance and sticking with it.
Yes, you have to align somewhere.
Which I think he was in agreement with a lot of people in the house that let's get Ashley.
Right.
And that was completely upended. And he had to go with his plan B, which was Kelly.
I can't believe that worked for them. I can't fucking believe that Kelly wins the BB blockbuster and actually goes up as a pawn and escapes, because how often does that actually happen?
Not very at all.
Again, Tucker, but he was a comp beast, right? He was clearly like one of the best players of last season. And it's like rule number 1, never go up as a pawn. So as soon as she volunteers to do that, we just assumed Kelly was going.
Oh no, here we go. She's writing her own story. She's digging her own grave.
Have fun.
She's closing the coffin on herself, right?
And she actually pulled it off.
Yeah, I was fully expecting her to lose that competition.
Good for her.
And yeah, absolutely good for her. And one little funny production thing that I saw is the item in which she had to identify in this blockbuster competition was a jeweled crown. She locks it in, she immediately wins, and she puts it on her head. You can see her looking up to the balcony of production, right? There's a balcony on the outside area where production sometime is seen bobbing and weaving, and you can see her looking up to them and saying, can I keep this? Can I wear this? And they tell her no, so she has to put it
So
back on
funny.
the podium. But honestly, it would have been fun seeing her walk back in the house with a crown on. I would have been here for it.
She
But
should be able to wear it like it's a WWE title.
yeah, I think so. I think that would have been fun. But they told her, no, you are not the queen of this season.
That's so
keep
sad.
keep the crown on the podium.
Can you imagine Rachel if she has to watch Kelly walk around in a crown?
Oh, Rachel's gonna lose it.
Maybe that's what it is.
yeah.
Honestly, it's not that they want to keep the prop. It's like they just have to keep Rachel like from killing her in front of everyone.
Right.
You gotta keep your star happy, right? She's talent. That is something that is so clear in the way that they're presenting this and the way that she presents herself is that Rachel is talent. She is on-air talent. She's not to Julie's level, but I think that she is acting like she is.
Right. And she's also going around saying that she's coaching these new people or whatever.
And it's smart because is she coaching them? No. Why would you want to coach any of your co-competitors?
No, she's manipulating
But
them.
if you come in from a place of nurture, if you're presenting yourself as someone who is going to teach you everything that they know, then you've got everyone eating out of the palm of your hand.
And it's working, and they are, which is crazy. Because my first thing is, if there's ever a returning player, you have to gun for them until they go home. You have to, for your own livelihood.
And very few people seem to be operating that way. And
Very
clearly with the way that the vote went, because she had a lot of influence over that. But one person who from the beginning has voiced their concerns with her being in the house and the need to get her out was Jimmy.
Right. And Jimmy had a little blow up, and it wasn't against Rachel.
We got to be careful, Jimmy.
Careful.
I know we said that we're rooting for you because you're from D.C., you're from our hometown, but you're making me a little nervous to be in your corner right now.
Yeah.
As you're listening to this podcast from inside the Big Brother house. It's so nice that they have Spotify and Apple Podcasts readily available to all the Big Brother players.
And this is their number one show that they listen to, I heard.
Yeah. And they go to YouTube and they subscribe and leave us 5-star reviews and comments.
I think that's exactly what's happening.
I'd love to thank Rachel Riley for her 5-star review of Backdoors and Blindsides.
Thanks, Rachel, and her husband, Brendan. Thank you, Brendan. So we have this loose cannon Jimmy. He's going around stirring the pot. So let's get into that a little bit here. So what happened was Jimmy was trying to play HOH. He and Vince had this conversation early on that they were, ride or dies. They were going to be there for each other, which is clearly not the case.
Final 2, night 1 is just a little dicey.
It is. We want to suss people out a little bit. We want to make sure that they are good players, that they have their head on straight, that they can think logically. But and clearly that is not the case.
His angle from the beginning with working with Vince is we're smaller dudes compared to these hunks, these bodybuilders, these huge athletic dudes. We need to get them out so you and I can run the house together.
Right. Correct. So Jimmy tries to put a plan in motion to get out Keanu. He is floating an idea by Vince. Hey, what if we think about Keanu? And he's going around trying to get support from all other house guests. He's going around, hey, what do you think about Keanu? He is floating Keanu's name hard everywhere. And then it cuts to Jimmy in the DR saying, well, I don't actually know Keanu. I'm going to go suss him out. And if we have this good conversation, then I'm going to call off the dogs.
It's messy.
As if Jimmy has the influence to call off anything. I was like, you are sorely mistaken your spot in the house, and you are attempting to put a plan in motion and then go back and decide if that plan is good or not, and then go back to a game of telephone and be like, oh, well, I actually like Keanu, so don't worry about it. That also makes you look bad. So then what happens is Keanu catches wind of this, that Jimmy's trying to get him out.
Yeah.
And then Keanu has this conversation with Jimmy where he's basically trying to serve up an opportunity for Jimmy to come clean and say, yeah, man, I was talking about you, whatever. And he's
not confronting him. He's not getting in his face saying, hey, I heard you were talking shit. He is just trying to get an idea of what the real story is. It's honestly a pretty good move.
Right. he's playing Godfather a little bit. Big Brother even has some music playing in the background while they're having this conversation. That's very, very much Tony Soprano vibes and Godfather vibes. And so Jimmy does not cop to anything. And Keanu goes, all right, I gave him a chance. Fair game. We're going after Jimmy now. So Keanu starts saying Jimmy's name. That gets back to Jimmy. And Jimmy goes, well, fuck Keanu for saying my name. I'm like, dude, Keanu's saying your name because you said it first. And now you're gaslighting Keanu for pulling this out of thin air and just coming at you for no reason. And Keanu's like, no, dude, like you were the one saying my name first. And then we get the first public blow up of the season.
Week 1.
We love to
see
it.
So stupid.
Shout out Angela. Gave it to us last season.
He literally pulls an Angela.
He pulls an Angela. Jimmy, no one was talking to you. No one was talking to you. And what happens? He gets up after the veto box is closed and you're
not up. No one put you up.
You're not nominated. Kelly's just was the replacement nom, so sucks for her. Ashley's excited that she just got off the block. And what do?
None of your allies are up either.
Yeah. What do, Jimmy? You stand up there and you decide to make a target of yourself. Now he thinks he's making a target out of Keanu by calling Keanu out.
He thinks he's asserting dominance.
Right. He's asserting dominance. Like, hey, like you did something wrong. And Keanu's sitting there like, dude, you were the one coming after me. So I only said your name because you said my name. And now it's my fault that I'm saying your name because you said my name. No, doesn't make any sense. So now Keanu is sitting there like, what the fuck? And so Keanu goes to Jimmy afterwards and says, Jimmy, like, what's going on? And they seem to have a decent conversation.
Right, exactly. They did have a decent conversation. They basically made up. So he had this blow up in front of the entire house for no fucking reason. He just asserted himself as a loose cannon, as a hothead, someone who does not know how to play this game correctly.
I don't want to be aligned with that.
And he gained nothing from it. He made up with that one person.
Yeah, and now
Jimmy, there is 3 months of game left. And you showed your whole ass in week 1.
Take it easy, buddy. Plenty of gameplay for you if you keep quiet and keep a low profile these next few weeks. Plenty of game for you. But
sorry, go ahead.
But there are a couple quips that came from Jimmy that big fan of. So he says, and I quote, "The only thing fake about me is my sunglasses." And then I believe he chucks his sunglasses. I'm like, Jimmy, I use that as a high schooler in an argument. I said, the only thing fake about me is my blonde hair. We're using that? Really?
Yeah, that's an embarrassing one. Well, don't worry. He makes up for it with the next one, with the animal analogy.
Yeah, which he says, buckle up, buddy. This snake has a bite.
Oh, my God. I just think of Angela standing on the top of the stairs last season and saying, and the performance was great for a TV movie. We know that you like the spotlight.
For a B movie.
For a B movie?
For a B movie.
So we're really excited to be on television. We all are, right? You're in front of the country. Well, and he acknowledges the country, by the way. He's talking to the camera, talking to the DR, addressing the viewer as America. A little too confident.
No. Don't talk to me, Jimmy. I don't want to be talked to. Yeah, don't save it. Save it. I don't want to be talked to.
We need to dial it back a little bit, Jimmy. And that's why I want to talk about confidence in the Big Brother house. You need to have confidence in your decision-making. Vince did not have a lot of confidence in his decision-making this week, and I think that is going to come back and bite him in the ass. It is important to know your moves and be certain that you like your move. You're confident in the move that you're going to make to get someone out, to build an alliance, whatever that is. You need to not be confident about your game itself. You need to doubt your game 24/7 because that's the only way that you're going to consider what might be going on
and never get too comfortable
outside of your visual. And so it's the opposite with Jimmy. He's way too confident in his actual game when he needs to really think through the individual decisions that require confidence.
And the individual relationships that he has with people, right? He doesn't really know. It's still week 1. He doesn't really know who Keanu's tied to. Maybe he just pissed off 5 or 6 other people because he's coming after Keanu.
I know they say it's a long season. It's a long game. The short game is just as important as the long game.
Right.
Speaking of long game, how about Zay revealing to all of us that he's like the smartest dude alive, that he's fluent in Spanish, that he's like a chess grandmaster? I mean, it's sloppy, right? It's sloppy that he's showing everyone just how smart he is.
He's got the muscles. He's really got it from all angles, right? And we get our second public blow up of the season, which is him confronting Rachel.
Rachel is a ticking time bomb. I think that she's just waiting for anyone to sneeze in her direction to have that moment of television.
Absolutely. And he sneezed in her direction and she did not like it. And she lashed out at him. And I think what happened was, spoiler alert, Zay went home and it was a 9-5 vote. So I like to see that it's not a landslide. I like to see some people having some opinions, some lines in the sand, whatever. But the one thing that we learned from this eviction is if you fuck around with Rachel Riley, you will find out.
Yeah, big mistake on Zay's part. And what I don't know, what was I guess endearing to watch was he clearly was enjoying the game, right? He was enjoying the moment. He was kind of grinning and laughing because he's like, I'm having a big brother moment with this all-star player.
Oh, it's got to
right?
feel amazing to go toe-to-toe with Rachel Riley, and he did hold himself well, and I will give him mad credit for fighting for his life. He was squirming.
Yeah.
He knew his back was up against the wall. He had this Burger Boy alliance, but he didn't know how much confidence he should have in it, but he was fighting for his life. And I will always applaud people who do that, because the worst thing that you can do is try to lay completely low and not really do or say anything.
Sure.
Come eviction, and then you're outside sitting with Julie and you're like, man, I wish I would have had more conversations. I wish I did this or done that. But he did it. He lived a full Big Brother game in the week that he was there.
Zay might have been the first person evicted from the Big Brother house.
Gone too soon in my mind.
Season 27. We'll miss you, Zay. But something else that he has on his resume is that he was the only person that stood up to Rachel during week 1. And right now, it may very well be that he's the only person that will ever stand up to Rachel, because she has clearly asserted dominance across the rest of the house with this vote. Was it her single decision that sent Zay home? No, it's week 1. People may not have just gotten to know him very well, right? There's 16 people that you have to be friends with in a week to assure your safety if you're up on the block. But you know damn well that she's going to convince the rest of the house that it was her move. She's going to claim that move, and then that gives her even more power over people. That's where the intimidation officially comes into play. I sent Zay home. You have to fear me.
Right. But she was also not only sending Zay home, but she was also protecting her friend Amy, her mom alliance, Amy. So
yeah, that's going to be a tough egg to crack.
Right. And Amy,
tough nut to crack. I'm so stupid. Sorry, Amy.
I hope the egg's not hard to crack. You should probably just throw that away.
That's a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
We didn't put any vinegar or salt in this pot that we boiled these eggs in. That's a hard egg to crack. I've been doing this for 10 years. I suck.
But I don't think Zay blowing up with Rachel really had a consequence on his game. I don't think it made a difference.
I don't think so either.
Because listen, if the fate was in the BB God's hands and it was always going to be Zay and Amy sitting next to each other, Rachel had patted Amy in this, I guess Amy got what she wanted. She kind of got this girls alliance happening right now with
all of the girls voted Zay.
Not Kelly.
Besides Kelly, because she was in with Vince.
Right. And she wanted to do what Vince did. So that's a little messy there.
That sounds
like
a girls
Kelly.
Club to me.
Yeah, that's a little girls club there. But I really don't think Zay popping off really impacted what Rachel constructed. I think it just gave her more fuel to the fire, honestly.
Here's what I think. I think whoever was going to be up on the block against Amy, Zay, Kelly, if Ashley stayed, Rachel was going to pick a very public fight with them, because she knew that she already protected Amy. She knew that she had enough to get Amy to stay. So then whoever goes home if you get in front of everyone and pick a fight with them, you know that they're already going home, then it's so easy to take credit for that move.
And to be fair,
she's a player.
To be fair, Rachel was provoked. Zay did go to her and say that I'm going to get you out if you don't vote for me. So you're in this pool of people that didn't vote for me.
Because you have to campaign for yourself. He was campaigning for himself.
No, he did it wrong. He was trying. You need to get someone's support, not threaten them, especially in week 1. And Zay was threatening her. And you don't threaten Rachel Riley.
Sure.
You don't threaten her. No, because you go home.
She knew exactly what she was doing by having that moment.
Yes.
That's going to set the stage for the rest of her game, and especially going into week 2.
Yep. And going into week 2, we have a few alliances that have brewed up in week 1. We'll see how long they are for the Big Brother house. So first up, we have our mom squad, which is Rachel and Amy. And they sit within a larger context of women. I don't believe they have an alliance yet, but we're looking at the Morgans, the Ashleys.
Morgan and Ashley are definitely floating around, hanging out on the hammock.
Right.
Playing the hits.
Yep. So they're kind of tight. We don't know if they're a full alliance yet, but we have the mom squad, which is Rachel and Amy. And then our other final 2 we have is Vince and Kelly. Paid off for Kelly this week. Hopefully she really has trust there. And that final 2 might actually pay off in the long term now that they pulled that off. And next up, we have the heavy hitters, which is Vince, Morgan, Rachel, Zach, and Jimmy. And then Riley's also pulled into a back room by Jimmy, I believe, and is told, hey, we have this heavy hitters alliance. We're trying to go after like the big guys, right? And actually what happened was I believe Kelly voted to evict Amy on behalf of Vince, the HOH, because Vince doesn't get a vote as HOH. Yeah. He only gets to tie a vote, right? So I think that's why Kelly voted to evict Amy, was because she was doing Vince a solid. Now what happened was here we have Morgan, Rachel, Zach, and Jimmy and Riley all voting to evict Zay. Right. So lines were crossed somewhere, because if Kelly is voting to evict Amy on behalf of Vince, then that leaves Vince the odd man out in the heavy hitters alliance, right? Because Vince needed to go to Kelly and say, hey, Kelly, we're voting out Zay.
Right.
That didn't happen. Then we have the Burger Boys, which is Will, Riley, Zay, Vince, and Zach. Obviously not a thing anymore because Zach voted against
Zay.
Right. And Zay's out. So Burger Boys basically crumbled. We have a deconstructed burger salad right now.
An open-faced burger.
An open-faced burger. The buns left, which is Zay. R.I.P. Zay.
We'll miss your buns.
We'll miss your buns, Zay. And one last thing before we sign off, we have to analyze Julie's fit.
Let's see. Julie's fit. First live eviction of the season. What are we feeling?
Fire. And that wraps up week 1 of Big Brother.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Backdoors and Blindsides, at Backdoors and Blindsides on Instagram and X. We're putting out reels every day.
And Threads.
And follow us on Threads as well. We'll be posting live during the episodes. We're posting polls. We want to see your favorite players, your thoughts on what we have to say about the show. We want to keep the conversation going with everyone who listens, and we had an amazing response to the very first episode of the show. So thank you guys for tuning in, for such a warm welcome to the podcasting world. And that's about it. So with that, coming to you live from inside our vacation house, I'm Matt.
And I'm Meg.
We're Backdoors and Blindsides. Glove one another.